Hey guys, Explicit Rider here. Just I found some old footage of my old Ninja 250R, which is now being replaced by my Ninja 300. Yeah, so it's just me when my mate came up in this Hisun GT 650R. He's up to Sydney. You can see my new speedo, my old new speedo I had there. If anyone's wondering, I've got the MGP Growler exhaust on this Ninja, and that's the Corsa RX2 speed gauge. Anyway, I just want to make a video on just some safety riding tips for beginners. So I thought, I might just voice over some old footage I've got that I haven't uploaded of me riding, and yeah, just chuck it on. Because at the moment I haven't done I've got a couple of tapes that I got to go through. So there's a cop that sees me do this. There's an exit. I'm not supposed to come out of here, but cop doesn't see me. So, well, he does, but he doesn't do anything. He'll just turn left everything. So yeah. Just want to go through 15 tips. So tip number 1: watch drivers' heads and mirrors. That's pretty basic. Just watching the head movements of drivers through their windows and mirrors, that's an excellent way to anticipate, sudden moves that they might make. But most drivers, they won't lunge left or right without first moving their heads one way or another. So, even if they don't check the mirrors. So, trust your mirrors, like your bike mirrors, but not totally. I mean, they can save your life, but they don't always, show everything. They don't always tell the entire story, even if you've adjusted them as good as you can. I mean, you can never adjust them very well. In traffic, basically, always reassure that your mirror-generated rear view with a glance over the appropriate shoulder. So if you're looking at your right, in mirror, yeah, you might see there's no cars, but just have a quick check with your right shoulder because you never know who's going to be there. Because I've had some close calls, that I've just looked in the mirror and then I almost turned right. I'm like, holy shit, where did this car come from? He just passed me real quick. Tip number 3, never get between a vehicle and an off-ramp. Oh, it's pretty basic, it's pretty obvious. It almost sounds too simple, but the drivers who decide to exit at the last minute, they kill plenty of riders each year. So the simple rule is just to never position yourself between a vehicle and the off-ramp. Passing on the right is generally just a big no-no, so don't do it. But sometimes you have to do it, it's necessary, so do it between cross streets. Next tip, cover your brakes. So, just have your foot on top. That just means have your foot on top of the brake ready, because you often have to react pretty quickly in traffic. Like where I'm riding here, there's not too much, but up ahead there's more traffic. So to minimize the time it takes you to reach the brake, always keep a finger or two on the brake lever, and your right toe close to the rear brake pedal, and that should help. Also, be noticed. Let me just wait for a moment. Yeah, just make sure drivers and pedestrians can see you, even if it is from a distance. So, ride with your high beams on during the day. Wear collar as bright. Wear bright gear, like especially in your helmet and jacket. I mean, I'm not the best to say that because all my gear is black, but also be ready with the power. So be ready, chuck the throttle in there. In traffic, ride in a lower gear than you normally would, so your bike's ready to jump forward if you have to get out of the way. And then doing this, will give you that chance of going ahead instead of being limited to just using the brakes when that freaking car suddenly tries to get in front of you. And the higher revs of your bike might also tell someone of your presence. So if the traffic's slowing down, just stay to the left or right, depending on where you live. So you can get out of the way, not exactly in the middle, for if it brakes really quick, you don't freaking smash into it. Always practice, another tip, always practice scanning. So just constantly scan your environment, when you're riding. So from looking at your instruments, to the mirrors, to the road, look for your blind spots to your left and your right, and it keeps you aware of just what's going on everywhere around you. Another tip, study the surface. of the ground you're riding on. So just see if there's any spilled oil or fuel on the floor, anything that's kind of shiny. That's usually how it shows up. Keep an eye out for gravel and sand because that shit fucks you up real good. I've dropped my bike because you put the brake on. If it's a rear brake, which are really, really light, that'll go so quick if you apply too much of the gravel. Also, try riding in open areas. So wherever there's, get away from all the other cars if you can in traffic. And in any grouping where there's grouping of vehicles, there's always some gaps. So find these and try to ride in them. And doing so will separate you from the other shit cars. Use your thumb. So basically just make sure you've got your thumb ready for all those canceling your turning signals. So just make sure you do that. Always try to look obviously ahead of you, like at least 3 seconds ahead. Just no matter what you're doing, always try to look ahead. Always try to look from another way out. So your bike is light, yeah, they'll fall down, but it's light and narrow, so you can get through gaps, and that's one of the strengths. So if things get ugly, make sure that you can find another escape route. If that makes sense. And just use like other big cars as interference. Basically, just like this is my last tip. If you're gonna be turning and there's heaps of cars, or if you have the green lights, let the big truck go first in front of you. There is one. Don't like floor it if it's green, because you don't know what's gonna be up ahead or who's gonna go through a red light. So if there's a big car, stay behind them or to the sides and use them to kind of block you in case something does happen. In case the worst case scenario happens, that car's gonna get hit first, not you. So in a way, you're using other cars to block you. So those are a few tips I researched and found out that I thought would be pretty good to share with you guys. And the most important thing is just ride defensively. Remember that you're the one that's going to get hurt, even if it's not your fault and something happens. We as a rider, we're going to get screwed over. So always ride defensively, guys. And yeah, I hope that helped beginners out. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video and ride safe.